All right. Now, let's go ahead and get up in here with this. Your current state of being is the High Priestess. So there's some things that are not really exactly being cleared up, or not necessarily cleared up, but talked about. This is some hidden information. No lies that I'm getting, because the Two of Swords in the outcome here, in the underlying energy rather, is really just talking about how, there's a difficult situation that somebody's not really wanting to look at. And it can be difficult, right? Especially when there is some decision that needs to be made about it. But at the end of the day, if you're not looking at a situation, it's because potentially you have an idea of what you need to make, or what decision that needs to come through. And it most likely will have to, do with some sort of morals, or some sort of truth of your own. But the High Priestess talks about hidden information, that talks about things that are not seen, relying on your intuition. So this may be a time right now, guys, that you're really relying on your instincts, especially because this situation and moving into Cancer season, it really brought in a lot of difficult energy, or energy where you really have to trust your instincts. Now, I feel like the goal for some of you guys in your relationship is to really kind of get through a really difficult patch. Right now it's kind of weird, and it's off, and it's a bit defensive, but you really want to get to a place where you can actually see that there is something worthwhile, right? I feel like here with that Nine of Wands, this is putting in a lot of work. This is really feeling exhausted and really just, ready to put down that wand, to be absolutely honest. But at the same time, you've put in so much work. It's just too much to put down the wand, I feel like. But the thing that's really keeping you from being able to get past this energy with the Nine of Wands is because there's some potential need to even recognize the future, or plan for the future. Maybe there's a lack of plans, or maybe no one really sees that there's something that can actually inspire, that can be stable from this situation with this person, okay? It's almost like you guys don't notice that there's something that can continue forward. Right? Like you don't see that there's something happening that can potentially happen in the future, and potentially because something started wonderfully, yes, but it started out in a way that makes somebody feel like it wasn't really meant to be long term. The Ace of Wands is not a card of long term, right? It's more of the Ace of Pentacles that shows that, hey, there is something seriously building here that's going to stand the test of time. It's going to potentially build a legacy. This card doesn't build legacies. This card builds, is about starting new projects, starting something new in regards to, getting back together with an ex or something like that. It's a lot of passion. But this doesn't mean that you can't make this into a Ace of Pentacles. This doesn't mean that. That's why the Three of Pentacles is there. It's like, okay, well, we don't see a future here. However, that doesn't mean there's one that cannot be started. Now, that's where the Two of Wands come in your hopes and fears. In your best path to follow. Now, it's very interesting. The advice is pretty much saying to make a decision, to go ahead and make something happen. Go ahead and do the work for it, right? If you really want to start something with this individual, or if you feel very led to this person to start something new, then this person may be, then just go, maybe the golden ticket, just go ahead and go for it, right? Two of Wands talks about, not just making decisions, but actually putting the work necessary behind it. And I feel like with this Ace of Wands that happened in the past, it's almost like there's work needing to be done to kind of see the way. So maybe there's just things to still learn about each other. There's some things to still discover. And it's totally acceptable, right? It's totally fine. It just may take a little bit longer. It may take a little bit of time to see that there's something that can be built. It's all about observation at some point. But the Two of Wands is about taking action before and after you make a decision. Okay, so it's very interesting. It could be that you may have to make a decision about which path you wanted to go down, and then just do the best that you can to make whatever you're trying to make happen with this individual, right? So in your feelings, guys, you have the Seven of Wands. So there's a bit of defensiveness. You guys really feel proud, one, of the relationship, proud of yourself. You're standing up for yourself here. And I feel like you're standing in place of your beliefs, believe in your hard work and the relationship that you believe so strongly about. And I feel like with the Seven of Wands, considering and is diagonal to the Nine of Wands, this new beginning is something that you really feel like can start something amazing. I mean, this Seven of Wands is not a stable card either, right? It's a very rocky place that he's at. He may have the advantage, but it's still something that if any one of those wands were smart enough, would just swipe him right off his feet. You know what I mean? But I do get this feeling though, is that there is a lot of passion with this relationship. You may not see it at this time where there's something that can be built, but that's the beauty, right? It's to just go for it and just see where it takes you. That's probably why the High Priestess is in your emotions or in your current state of being, because there may not be a direct and concise way or concise path to happiness with this person or concise long-term commitment with this person. However, it doesn't mean it can't happen. It does not mean it cannot happen. This is major arcana cards that we're working with. Minor arcana, not major. You can make this out to be anything you want to. And I think that's the whole kicker, right? To see that actually you have a lot of power and what course of action can be taken and what course of action needs to be taken here. What's underneath here? The Three of Wands. Interesting. So the Two of Swords is coming up with the Three of Wands, and that to me is really talking about, making a decision based off of what you expect to come through. You have 3 2s in this reading, by the way. Magic happens in threes, guys. So if you want something to happen, if you really want to see something, go through, or if you're having a situation where you're not sure if your partner wants to keep going, it's all about making making the decisions that fit you the best, that really resonate with your heart. Leo, still, until August and September time, you're still going to have that Leo North node going on there in your house, in your first house, and where your sun is, guys. So it's all about figuring out what it is that truly makes you happy, because this is pretty much wrapping up this North node in Leo. So with your best path to follow, your hopes and fears, you have the Two of Cups. And I like this here. And I really feel like you guys want to, see eye to eye. You really want to connect with this individual. For those of you that are not in a relationship, this could be that you want to connect with somebody. You want to be in a relationship with someone, because this whole reading looks like that you may not feel like there is even an opportunity with somebody because of a lot of potential flings, a lot of stuff that's happened with individuals that are wonderful and exciting and fresh, but they may not last. Or maybe there's something about rekindling a relationship with somebody from the past and it never really, manifested itself into something long term. But I do get this feeling for a lot of you guys, whether you're in a committed relationship or not, that this is you guys want to connect with someone, or you want someone in your life that really resonates with how you feel, that feels the same way, which is completely understandable. Working in twos and threes here. So I do get the sense that this individual that you may be seeing, for those of you that have somebody in your life, someone they feel someone the same way. They could feel a little confused. They're not really sure. The High Priestess is never confused, but they're definitely holding something back. There's something that's hidden here. There's something that's not being said. There's something that's not very clear about the situation. Not because there's a secret, but because there's a difficult situation in regards to a relationship between you and them. Not that they don't know if they want to have a relationship with you and them. It could just be that they are not really sure if they are serious enough for the job. Because here you have in your outcome the Knight of Wands, someone that is very passionate, very exciting, very, very go-getter, energetic. But they have this thing about commitments that is like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to kind of let you guys handle this, and I'll find some other place, some other area where people need me to start something new, start something fresh, start something exciting. The Knight of Wands, he doesn't take things very seriously, and it's because he's all about expressing and showing energy and not really putting it down and the time to do something. And I'm not saying this individual here can't be committed, cannot commit to something. The Knight of Wands typically doesn't, but he's not. But this is all about seeing that there's an unreliability factor with this person, or maybe that there is something here that keeps them from being more committed. And that's the communication part. I think that's why here with the Three of Pentacles, you don't necessarily see a future with this individual. It's hard to visualize, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. The Knight of Wands, this individual could be a Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. Okay, but I do get the sense that maybe it's just because of cold feet. Maybe it's because they don't see what's going on emotionally for them. There's defensive energy coming up, and this could be them, right? It could be like they are defensive about a relationship because they had something happen in the past that really didn't last them very long in the first place. Maybe they had a relationship in the past that didn't really work out that well. You know what I'm saying? And it could be that it's just about taking your time, enjoying the connection that you have to see if there's something that actually connects you to in the first place. That could be that too, right? It could be that maybe you don't see a future with them because there is not a lot of emotional stuff connecting you to, right? Because I would like to see more cups come up, but we see a lot of wands. We see a lot of defensive energy here. I would like to see more cups. I would see more pentacles to see that there is something long term. I mean, all I got is the Three of Pentacles here, and that's in the obstacle position. So I want to see more of cups. So perhaps right now it's about enjoying the connection. It's about seeing how it goes, being receptive, and seeing how the relationship can play out. Because if it can play out in the best way, if it comes out that you guys can really work really well as a team, then the decision itself won't be too difficult to have, to make. But it's still a difficult decision, especially if it's hard for you to connect with people nowadays. If it's hard for you to find someone that really sees you for you, it can be very difficult. And that's potentially why you hold things back, or if there's somebody that's holding something back, right, in this reading, because they're worried that if they invest time and energy and sit and dream and want to have a future with somebody, that they probably won't stick around to the end of it. That's where the trust comes in with the High Priestess, right? Trusting yourself and allowing yourself to be open to everything that comes your way, even love. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with your romance angels this week. Wow, love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. That's very interesting. And I believe it. Love yourself first. That's a really good thing to do, because I mean, when it comes to the High Priestess and the Two of Wands, these two really do indicate that, hey, there may not be some things apparent at this moment, but you have to just go on faith and trust yourself, right? Really look within your intuition and trust yourself to know that you can make the steps forward. Okay? If you show yourself love, the decisions will be easier. You want to go out and explore. It's really interesting. But I feel like as a side message, I really feel like with love yourself, it's really talking about, focusing on what you want, focusing on where you want to take these things, and really just kind of go along with it. Trust yourself too. Because with love, there's trust. I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys your wisdom of the oracle here for the week before we wrap up the reading. Let's see what you guys have here. TikTok. I like this. All right. Good. I'm glad that you guys got TikTok. Because TikTok really talks about timelessness. There is no such thing as time. There's no such thing. Time is a measurement for us to indicate where we've been, where we are, and what is to come. But it's truly one thing that doesn't really exist. There's no such thing as past. There's no such thing as present. There's no such thing as future. And if you believe this, right? If you go on your life, go living your life, living in the moment and going by how you feel, you know, it will be easier times for you and for your relationships. And why I say this? Why do I say this? This is really, if it doesn't make any sense, you know what I'm saying? I'm just sounding like a philosophical maniac at this time. Well, let me just kind of get a little bit more in depth, right? With TikTok, it's talking about that there is nothing to stress about. Things happen in due time. Things happen when it's meant to happen for you, right? You make it happen whenever you want to make it happen. That's what the Two of Wands there saying, that you have the power to make it happen, but you don't have to rush. You don't have to feel stressed out. You don't have to feel like there is a time limit. And you don't have to worry about 3, 4, 5 dates in, and you don't have to worry about, you know, a month if they're going to stick around. Just be in the moment. See. You know it? You know what I mean? Like, you know, just be in the moment. I know it's not here and now, right? Which really indicates being in the moment. But what TikTok is talking about, like, there is no future to look forward to. There's no past. This is only now that matters. And if you build on the now, then the future is more apparent, right? Then you can see what could potentially come, but at the same time, right? Even then, the future is now. The past is now. Everything happens now for a reason. So that way we can predict. So that way we can see where we can go. And I know I'm going way over. I'm supposed to be like ending this at 15 minutes. So hopefully you guys don't mind going a little bit over. But with TikTok, I just feel like this really ties in with the reading, because it's talking about, don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about what is going to turn out to be. Just live in the moment. Just go for it. Take the bull by the horns and ride it through. This could be especially with the individual. If they seem very flighty, very defensive, there's no time like the present. Enjoy them, talk to them, get to know them, see what's going on, right? There's a lot of things that can happen now rather than happen later.